and reminds us
Right.
that the substance, or rather the substantive element, I don't want to use the word substance there for philosophical reasons, the substantive element that we point to is not the pattern but the energy.
Energy, quite. See, sir, that is love, isn't it, sir? Huh? When there is this sense of religious summation of energy, that is love, that's compassion, and care that operates in daily life.
In love, the pattern never resists change.
Yes. So you see, sir, that love, you can do what you like. It will be still love. But there the love becomes sensation. You follow?
Yes, yes, on the whole track of knowledge. Yes.
And therefore there is no love there.
Yes, that image of the Lionel train, the toy that goes round and round and round, isn't that extraordinary?
You see, sir, that means, can the mind, I'm using the word mind, in the sense mind, the brain, the body, the whole thing, can the mind be really silent? Not induced silence, not silence put together, not silence that thought imagines is silence, not the silence of a church or the temple. They have their own silence. When you enter a temple or a old cathedrals, they have an extraordinary sense of silence. Thousands of people chanted, talked, prayed, all that, but it is above all that.
Mm-hmm.
It is not that either. So this silence isn't contrived, and therefore it is real. It isn't I have brought about through practice a silence.
No, it's not what you mentioned earlier, that space between two noises.
Noise, that's right.
Because that would become an interval.
Yeah, that's right.
And as an interval, it simply becomes successive.
Successive, that's right.
This is extraordinary in terms of the continuing return to question. It seems to me that it's only in the attitude of the question that there's any possibility for even intuiting from afar the possibility of the silence, since already the answer is a noise.
Oh, so, sir, there's something very interesting. Does this come about through questioning?
No, I didn't mean to suggest that questioning generates it. I meant that simply to take a step back from the enthrallment and enchantment with answers is in itself a necessary step. And that in itself has its own terror.
Of course. But I'm asking, is silence, is this sense of immeasurable, does that come about by my questioning?
No.
Perception sees the false and discards the false. There is no question. It sees and finished.
Mm-hmm.
But if I keep on questioning, I keep on doubting. Doubt has its place, but it must be kept on a leash.
Now, let me ask you a question here, if I may. The act of perceiving is, as you've said, the doing.
Doing, absolutely.
There's absolutely no interval between one.
So I see danger to the act.
And I act, exactly. Now, in this perceiving, the act is totally free.
Yes, sir.
And then every energy pattern is free to become change.
Yes, quite.
Yes, exactly. No more hoarding to itself
no regret.
All that it's worked for all its life. Yeah. And amazingly, though, it seems to me there's, if I've understood you correctly, there's a corollary to this. Not only is the pattern free to be changed, but the energy is free to pattern itself.
Or not to pattern.
Or not to pattern. Yes.
There it is. In the knowledge has to pattern.
Of course.
But here it can't pattern. Pattern for what? If it patterns, it becomes thought again.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore thought is divisive, thought is superficial. I don't know if I told you the other day, somebody was telling me, Professor Boehmler, in fact, he was saying that in Eskimo language, thought means the outside. Very interesting. The outside. When you say go outside, the word is thought. So thought has created the outer and the inner. If thought is not, then there is neither the outer nor the inner. That is space. It isn't I've got inner space.
No. We've been talking about meditation in relation to religion, and I simply feel I must ask you to speak about the interrelationship of prayer to meditation, with meditation, because conventionally we always refer to prayer and meditation.
No, I don't. To me, prayer is no place in meditation. To whom am I praying? Whom am I supplicating, begging, asking?
A prayer as petition has no place
Petition,
in this.
that.
Is there any is there any use of the word prayer that would be consonant with what we've been talking about?
Well, if there is no petition, you understand, deeply, inwardly, there is no petition.
No grabbing, grasping.
Because the grabber is the grabbed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
If there is no petition, what takes place? I petition only when I don't understand, when I'm in conflict, when I'm in sorrow, when I'm saying, oh God, I've lost everything. I'm finished. I can't arrive. I can't achieve.
When there's no petition, I can look. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, a woman comes to me once, some time ago. She said, I have prayed, almost for years. And I prayed for my refrigerator, and I've got it. Yes, sir. I pray for peace, and I live a life of violence all the time. I say, I pray for my country, and I've divided the country, opposed to another country. And I pray for my country. It becomes so child.
In conventional prayers, there is usually both petition and praise. Both are there.
Praising and receiving.